All right, I think we're on top of the hour. Let's start the session. Thank you and welcome to day 2 of Make the Exchange conference. Today, I'm happy to speak about the secure exchange online using privileged identity management, in short, PIM. This is by heart really a topic I'm really wanna. I really hope that you will really take this advantage here, and as a takeaway, that you maybe think about using this. Let's start. So just a quick note about me. I'm working for SAP. I'm based in Waldorf. I'm there for the IT, of course, part of the IT team. Started with Exchange. Now, meanwhile, we're also moving to Office 365. And here also, I'm one of the global admin. I'm certified master. Yeah, you can find here also my blog post. They are also on my GitHub. For this session, I want to touch base here definitely on what is actually privileged identity management. What does it mean? Some basic configuration and some advanced configuration. Maybe also some tips and tricks you can use this, because most of the time I get the feedback, it's too complex and the overhead is just too much. So for this session, Michelle is one of my co-hosts there, so I'm more than happy that she's helping me out. If you have question, hopefully we'll get there to the Q&A session there afterwards. There some time left, and if you have question, just raise your hands. He's monitoring the chat. I'm also looking in between, but yeah. Now let's start. What is PIM Essential? Actually, it's a service within Azure AD. It allows you to management and control monitoring of privileged roles. What does it mean, privileged roles? All administrative roles could be the built-in, like the Exchange administrator, could be also custom roles, which have privileged access to certain resources. What this does there, it really helps you to grant these privileges only for a certain time, like it's a time-based privilege access. On top of that, when you request, you can send a request, and you can also have then an approval flow behind it, so that either 1, 2 persons need to approve that you get this access. If you request it, that's up to you. All of this also includes auditing. So that means you really have a detailed logs there, like when someone requested a specific role, not only that you're accessing something else, it's also when you requested it, who approved it, the time, all the timestamps there, and all the actions you performed there. So why should you use PIM actually? Of course, you should follow or use PIM because you want to follow the principle of least privileged access. I do see a lot of colleagues or from other companies when we chat about this, I'm using the same account and this for my normal regular work, for instance, but at the same time, whatever there are Exchange administrator or Azure AD global admins, and they have the same account. You definitely should restrict this. The reason why is because it's increasing the attacks, and users get really compromised pretty fast. And once you're compromised, of course, the attacker would have then also the permission, the privileged access to whatever Exchange, Teams, or even the whole tenant. In a nutshell, it is not really simple to implement. By not increasing the complexity and the overhead. I will show you this in short. The only thing what you definitely need to be aware of, but to be honest, I think that's definitely worth. It's what does it need to enable PIM? Actually, you need a P2 license, an Azure AD P2 license for every account you want to cover with. That's not for every user in the tenant. Let's say you have a tenant with 10,000 users at all, but you have maybe 10 admins. You would need only the 10 admins, 10 license for those admins. And actually, these are the ones there for eligible assignment, the time-bound assignment. These are the licenses you can have there. And there's also the example here. That's actually everything what you need. Only for the admins you want to protect from. So actually, taking this, it sounds pretty complicated, right? That's what I hear usually. So there are several ways. Let me just show you here in this example. Let's say Christy, here in this case, yeah, this is Christy. It's one employee, and she also holds the role or is responsible for Exchange Online. So actually, and she's using the same account in this case here. Means usually, or what I see is usually they got permanently assigned the permission or the role Exchange administrator. That means, 24/7, this user has access to Exchange Online as an administrator. Do you really need this? I don't think so. And this is also something you really can reduce the attack surface, yeah, and reduce the risk, yeah, being compromised or data leakage, when you're using PIM. Means she get only the role assigned, yeah, when she needs it. So that means here some terms here. Eligible means that it was assigned to her that she can activate. She's eligible to activate a specific role. Means, yeah, she needs again take some extra action to activate this role. And there are also some rules on it. It can activate it only for a certain amount of time. You can configure this. Could be 1 hour, could be 8 hours, could be 10 hours. It's up to you. The service behind it will just remove the permission automatically, actually. Just let me show you how it actually looks like. We have here a virtual machine, and I'm here signed in. Let me check here. Sign in as Christy. That's her, and that's now a way of activating it using the UI. Actually, when you're signing to Azure, you can go then and look for Azure AD Privilege Identity. And when you look at this here, that's what you're gonna see. And you look at your My Roles, and you will see here, those are the roles which are eligible. I come to this later. Now we have 2 roles here, actually. The one with the application access policy, I will show you later on. So those are eligible. When we look at the active assignment, there is nothing active. Means she doesn't hold a role. All she needs to do is actually here sign in and just activate. And then you can have even your custom activation time if you want. By default, here on this group here, it's 8 hours. I can say, yeah, I want to have you only 1.5 hours. The reason I can say it's for my daily work. I just need this, and then I just activate this. One of the things you have to be aware of, PIM also ensures that you're using MFA. So it means at least strong authentication. So if I would have signed in here without MFA, then the service will throw me an error and say, hey, I have not, it's like a conditional access rule there. It will not activate the role because some of the requirements are not fulfilled. Okay, so let's wait here. That's like the demo. Okay, activation is successful. 3, 2, 1. Now it's active. We should see this here as an active role. Yeah, we can see that. And now actually when I go here to Exchange, I can sign in using this account, and I have privileged access to all Exchange related topics here. Mailboxes, I can add shared mailboxes and stuff like this. Of course, I can also deactivate this. This would be then also here if I don't need it. The only thing is that what we have to be aware of, if I want to deactivate it right now, it won't let me do this because there's at least 5 minutes you have to wait before I can deactivate it again. But actually, this was one way of yeah, Basil, thank you. Yeah. This is one way of activating it. Yeah, you have seen you have to sign in to Azure AD. You have to pick up the privileged identity management. Yeah, my roles there. Pick one of the roles and activate it. Just wait until we can deactivate this, and I can show you then later on also another way of activating this. Well, let's go back to the slides. Actually, this was not too bad from the experience. We can do better, but after this, let's see how does it or how can you configure this? It's not really a big thing, actually, how you can configure this. And yeah, let's sign in as an admin and then just let me show you how I configured all the steps you can configure um, a group which can be used for PIM, because this is here the goal, actually, to simplify also something. Even if this is at the moment in preview, you can, or before that, yeah, it was necessary that you assign a role eligible to on a per user setting. So now um, now we have a different opportunity now. We can now do assign eligible roles there to groups, which is currently in preview. But to be fair, we're using this there for months right now, and it's rock solid actually. Let's do it like this, the steps. I have this also all in the slides. You can see I have also here two different groups here created. For all of those, slides will be shared most likely later. If not, ping me. But now here are the steps actually from the session. If we want to create or use PIM, we definitely have to create a group with the type security. Let's call it like this, Azure AD. We do Exchange admins PIM. This can be assigned to make sure that you say, okay, Azure AD role can be assigned to the group. We can also add members here, but first of all, just create it. And creating a group, this info, what you can just safely ignore it, yeah, and say yes. So just wait till the group is there, because this is also a way of or this way now also shows you then will show you then also how you can configure already created roles or created groups. Just wait. I think today Azure AD seems to be a little bit slow. Here we go. Let's see. This is the group I just created. And now we just go to assign roles. And per default, you would have created, or the default brings up here the active assignment. What is the difference between eligible, active, and expired assignment? Actually, active assignment would mean that all members of this group would have. Well, when you're a member of this group, you have this active assigned all the time. Eligible, and this is what we're looking for, is that you are eligible for. That means all members of this group will be able to activate a specific role which is eligible here. And here you say eligible, and then we can search for Exchange Administrator and click Next. And here is also one thing, again, the setting here, eligible and not active. Choose eligible. Active, and to be here fair, also to simplify it, just do it permanent eligible. You can have groups, but this is up to you if you want that those are eligible only for a certain time frame. That's up to you. But for to simplify the overall process and the experience, yeah, I would just use it here. Permanent eligible. So with this done, that means member of this group will be eligible for this role or can activate this role. That's actually done. The only thing what you have to do right now is now just add one of the members. And here again, I can look for Christy. Just select it, add it. She's member of this group, so she's inheriting all the settings, and she will be able to look for these roles in a minute. Let's see. Yeah, we have already Exchange Administrator. I should have picked something else, but this will come up. Now, that's not all of it. If you click here on, hold on, assign roles. Privileged access review, enable privileged access. Yeah, we just need it. Active, she's active here. So now every of these, every role of the, or every group can have their own roles. Means when you go to Azure AD privilege management, and then for these access groups, you will find them. I will just now pick one of those because it takes a while until it's active. Let's have a look at these roles. Ending on the settings here. In these kind of settings, you can now define for members and for owners. Actually, what you're looking is there for members. And those are the settings you can define what happens to these, or how long, for instance, the settings here, the activation is the maximum. You can add it here. By default, it's 8 hours. So that means a user can activate this role for the maximum of 8 hours. After 8 hours, actually it will be removed from these permissions will be just removed, these roles. You can also require the justification on activation. Remember that I have to say, okay, if I want to enable it, I need to provide a reason for that. I just typed in daily for daily work. Yeah, you can turn this on, off, whatever. You can also require that a ticket information is for this. I mean, think of, yeah, if you have a ticket system and then it's the third level, whatever, someone needs to check in, and they also want to have an information, to link it to a specific ticket. It's up to your organization. You can say, okay, I need to require this information as well. I can also say here, require the approval to activate, to send, when you send a request, that this request is sent to the system, and then the system, based on the rules, it requires an approval from certain people. 1, 2, 3 other people just need to hit, approve this. It's like the 4 or 6 eyes principle, that several people need to just check who is, if this is okay, yes or no. The assignment here, that's also settings, and what you can do if you do a permanent assignment and roles, all kind of this, and also the information notifications, yeah, you can modify here. To be honest, and I think I have this also in my slides here, don't go too crazy on that stuff. Don't make it too complicated there, to say, hey, this one, or I need to have this. Maybe, depending on the scenario, if you have your third-party vendor in-house, which are maintaining maybe a system for you, then of course it makes sense that you approve them, and definitely also a notification that this is sent. But for your daily work, like in your own team, it doesn't make sense, because anyways, everything is logged. Again, this is also for the governance and for compliance here. You will find all of these information logged in Azure AD. Notification, again, don't go too crazy on these kind of stuff. So just have a look and then see if I can meanwhile deactivate it. I should be able to deactivate it here. of course, now I just want to show you another way of how you can activate or deactivate it. Let's say activate the role. This is actually also something next hour I have on the next session there's also one of my sessions how you can simplify your admin experience. This is just using modifying and pimping your PowerShell profile and modify it and customize it for your daily work. So just to make it short here, let's see, we don't have any active assignment. And what I'm gonna do is also, I just wanna, let me just share, check the user principal name. This is now something I'm doing in the shell, and this is now for the function here, for instance, is just using the PowerShell Microsoft Graph SDK. And here you can, it's just connected. Maybe you have seen it. You can do something like here. I can list my active roles. I don't have anyone. I can here list my eligible roles, which it's actually the same what I just found out here. You can see here now I have 2 times because remember I just created the other group. It's here, and actually I just want to activate the role. I'm just chipping using tab. That's tab completion, and then activate this role as an Exchange administrator. The expiration rule. See, I'm not waiting too long. The expiration rule, or not waiting too long. By default, the script is using 10 hours. And you can see here, this rule here failed because the expiration rule means, remember, show you here, I can activate this only 8 hours. Now, let's say it like this, hours. I just want to activate it for 1 hour. So we can see here, it's self-activated, the action. We can see here when it's the completion date, it started, the justification, we have it here. And when I look now at the active assignment, just takes a while until the UI picks it up, but it's already activated. Come on, here it is. And the end time, it's 5:23. That's Central European time here. We have now 4. So that's 1 hour. That's it. That's one way. Of course, I can just use this there and have another function like I just enable exo role. I can customize my own profile, and I just have to run this. It will fail because it's already activated. Yeah, this is then the error. What you're gonna see here. But this is actually when I sign in every day. I just have to do this, and then I'm back, and I'm in, and I have my role assigned. And also here, it's a pending provision, even what it shows here, but it's another request. Just to give you a heads up here about the request here, you can check yourself by your approved request. If you have something like an approval request flow introduced, you can review your access. If there is currently, I don't have those. My request, let's see, like this. It's my audit history. You will see all your requests actually I have here in the last week. You can see those. So that means then the service activated it here directly. You get the information, and you can see here also the reason, the user who was it, come on, the collation ID, the timestamps are everything here. Again, you as a user see it, and of course, I as a global admin or with administrative privilege, I can see all the details, how a user or what a user performed here. And If you don't want to sign in to the portal and use the UI, you can always use Graph. This is something what I configured here, or I wrote there for myself. And the reviews you just saw is also the actually here in this case there in this for this script here, you can also use then list role assignment schedule, and then you will see also all the details. Everything is here with timestamps and also the details here. All right. Let's just go back to the presentation here. So again, on these kind of setting, use the default. Don't go too crazy, because it's really then you will really make it too complex there, and everybody going to be really annoyed. So advanced configuration. This is also something you can do with PIM, and here is maybe one of the things here, or the use cases here is a custom role for an Exchange administrator. I don't know how it is by you. It depends, but I see it different on the companies, on the scenarios there. But I do see a lot of requests that any kind of line of business applications, they start using OAuth there, and that means they also want to use application permission. And for this, of course, you also need admin consent, because otherwise, application permission, you need admin consent there. But on the other side, you can't just grant the application administrator these kind of, or the role application administrator to the Exchange guys, because this definitely gives too much permission, excessive permission to them. So how does it work actually, or what is the use case actually? Let me, do I have this here? Yes. Let's do it like this here. Think of here, I'm the admin again. Let me sign in to the portal. Let's say there is the kind of line of business application, which is there for calendaring and used for scheduling. I don't know, maybe most likely for HR related topics there. Let's say we have here the application, and this application uses OAuth. Yeah, that's fine. And we have here application permission. We need application permission. No, again, here also something. There was a session yesterday from Julian also, and from Glenn. You can scope these kind of application permission to a subset of groups. But this is not the topic here. The topic here is, well, this is one of the workloads which has to be done in the workload of Exchange. So an Exchange administrator is anyways involved, because they will create these kind of application access policies to scope these down. But now, how do you grant admin consent? I, as an admin, of course, I could then grant admin consent for this application here, and but then everything. That's also one of the things. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, you don't have the possibility to grant here only for this particular permission admin consent. So this is the view from an global admin actually here. And Christy, for instance, let's say she's the global admin, or she's the Exchange administrator. She created then the application access policy. It was scoped to only a subset of users. Now she wants to have, or she wants to grant the admin consent. Actually, by default, she won't be able to do so. First of all, grant admin consent, you don't have the permission to do so. And again, here is the you don't have the possibility. So where I'm coming from is she can just activate the custom role, which grants permission only for dedicated claims. Means here dedicated permissions there in Azure AD. I created the role upfront. Let me just activate, or let her activate the other roles. Of course, then she can do this very specific for each permission. Again, she can just look for. And this role here is I just called it, yeah, it's Exchange Administrator, Application Access Policies, admin consenters. So once she has it, the expiration rule. Sorry, my fault again. See, that's you can tell that we have 10 hours by default. So 2 hours, it's provisioned. Let's see again if she has this already enabled. Azure AD, the privileged identity, her roles, the eligible. We don't care about the eligible, which are active at the moment. Yeah, both are active, even so she could create the application access policy. And now with this role here, with this particular role, she could actually grant also access or admin consent on dedicated roles. But as you can see here, the UI, you can't do this. This is still a limitation. That's why also customize your profiles, PowerShell profiles, use some of the other functions which are there, write your own or use the ones there in your tenant or from the community actually. And this will help you actually to, let's say like here, to simplify actually your experience. So in this case, what I just pasted in here is set the app role assignment for MG. It's just a function, also a little script, which is also available also on GitHub actually there, which is now setting the admin consent. Actually, we set here the app role assignment for a specific role, means the role here is an calendars read. Actually, it should say permission, or yeah, it's the role, it's the app role, a calendar read. So that means I have no option to set it here in the UI, but with the script, and after I activated the role, I could set it. And if we just do here a refresh, this is going to take a little bit. You will see, look at the calendars read. Sometimes I need a F5 refresh. See, it's granted for Contoso. And of course, I could also then add the same for calendar read write. Read write. Let's do the verbose. That's it. That's actually all what needs to be done. And the users or the group, the line of business application, the team, they can start using this actually out of the box right now. Should work. So just have a quick check on the chat. Okay, let's take save this for the for the Q&A. Again, what I just did, I showed you, it's just those three actually PowerShell SDK, Graph SDK commandlet, what I use there for creating the specific, the custom role. And then you can start using the active role. I already showed it. You can start using the custom role and work with your application. Yeah, we went through this. I have this in the slides. One of the things, here is an example. I just showed, mentioned this before. If the user signed in and has not provided any MFA, because this is also what is PIM doing behind it. It's enforcing that the user used MFA or at least strong authentication. This is something what then as an error comes up already. But let me move on where to actually we had this to the tips and tricks. Of course, what you just saw is something I can just highlight, the experience that you to simplify actually your experience, you have to do some different or some additional tasks as an admin. One of the things I really also want to highlight here is go passwordless. You can use either, my preferred option actually is using the FIDO2 keys. I don't know how many of you are using this. Yeah, I'm using this also as with biometric key. Here, you can store over 100 accounts on that key. I just, even for us, every day I have to sign in. Even every day we're using also continuous access evaluation, means my sessions got all revoked every night. Yeah, I have to sign in every day with my global admin or my Exchange administrative account. It's much easier. You provide strong authentication. It's worth doing it. Just put it in and then provide the details, your fingerprint. Yeah, if you want. If you don't want to use your fingerprint, your biometric, okay, then use your PIN and start using it. You have to do it only once. It's strong authentication. It makes life much easier. If not, you can also use your phone and sign in with your enable phone sign in. That's one of the things. Another thing is, I mentioned this here now. Before I said most of the users, they use their personal account also for their administrative task. Split this. Definitely split this. We also do this on a regular basis. We have a dedicated account. Split this out. They have dedicated account for my global admin role. I have a dedicated account for my Exchange Online account or administrator. Also the same for on-prem. I have dedicated accounts. You will just minimize the risk that if an account is compromised, the risk for the company itself. When you do this, and you can do this also or think of you as a consultant, you supporting another company on a daily basis. Here, add this account and the credential to your Windows 10 or Windows 11 machine, to the Windows machine, by adding the workplace or school account. The reason why I'm saying this, you can share these options on your device. So that means every time you're signing in using PowerShell, for instance, or Graph, or in the using one of the browsers, these credentials are shared. So this simplifies definitely, or the need, oh, I have to type in now another password. I have to type in now the new user. This definitely reduces these kind of tasks. Just do this, you can share this, and it's much easier. I only have to connect every day. The only thing what I'm doing is I'm just plugging in. I'm just do the fingertip, do the refresh my sign in from my accounts. I have to do this only once, and then I can use Microsoft Graph. I can use Exchange Online PowerShell out of the box because it's shared on the device. And with this, actually, I'm through. And I would say open up the mic and check, what kind of question do we have? So let's see. I mean, you can also feel free to unmute yourself. Let's check here. I see Michelle already did this. Yeah, of course. For the configuration for privileged identity management and these kind of roles there, of course, you need to have the global, need to be a global admin. This needs to be initial setup, and then they can take it from there. Yeah, the problem is, I can read this here. There is one of the questions that the full Exchange admin is usually way too much. How do you create PIM protected RBAC roles for daily admin tasks requiring reduced admin rights? That's a very good question. I know you love this, right? It's no, I hate to say, this is also what I'm asking a long time, or since a long time, also for us. it would be so nice to have, I know we can do in Exchange so many nice things with RBAC, but the problem is it's not feeding back to Azure AD, as PIM is only for or it's meant for Azure AD. It's made for Azure AD, and the services there around there is no way. Think of it's the same with the security portal, the compliance portal, all kind of roles. Sometimes you have to grant the consent, or not the consent, permissions there in Azure AD, sometimes in the security portal or in the compliance there, and then sometimes on top in Exchange, and it's still not working. And it's for the users, it's a hassle, which are working in security or compliance team. Totally agree on that. Currently, it is not possible. Yeah. If we don't have any questions left in the chat, I would just give you some time back. Thank you for attending. And if you have any question related to this, just ping me. I will be around anyways right now. Now, the next session is what I can just really highlight you is also that what you just saw here in terms of these kind of functions here. Here it's just a little overview again, or how you can simplify and improve your admin experience, which are already almost covered here. Thank you also for feedback. Always welcome. Hopefully it was not too fast here and not too overwhelming.